Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, Will Van Vactor, County Manager. We are here for this special meeting to continue our conversation about core services. As you're aware, we have previously had special meetings to discuss core services or core service descriptions for the Health Department, the Library, and the Sheriff's Office. This is a continuation of those conversations today. We will be discussing the core service descriptions for natural resources, the landfill, and community development. Before I turn it over to the respective department heads to kind of go over those descriptions for each department, I'm just going to do a quick overview again of the core services for folks who may have, may be watching or may watch this in the future who weren't able to participate in prior meetings. So core services in the public sector kind of refer to the fundamental and essential functions that a government department or agency provides to fulfill its mission and serve the community. These services are vital for ensuring public welfare, security, and effective administration of governmental responsibilities. These descriptions typically include primary functions critical to mission fulfillment, legally mandated or required services, essential public goods and services, and discussion of operational sustainability. Key characteristics of core service descriptions: they are centrally aligned with mission and community needs, subject to a public expectation and demand, prioritized in strategic and financial planning, and are the foundation of public trust and accountability. On this next slide, we have kind of a visual depiction of why we adopt and regularly review core service descriptions. I'm sure you'll see this or something in this close to this going forward as we continue to discuss core services. I hope this kind of helps kind of break down why we're doing this project right now and why it's really important going forward. We continue to review our core service descriptions and ensure that they continue to reflect what the public expects, what the board expects, so that we're making decisions that align with those expectations to ensure that we continue to provide the core services to our community. Any questions on core services generally before we jump into the natural resources core service description? So I'll ask Tim to come up.
And Jonah, you can come here or there, up to you.
I'll get closer.
Okay.
In case you can't hear me.
Make sure you turn on your mic.
There's a bigger table so you can lay all your paperwork down,
That's
right?
right. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Tim DeBoot with the Crook County Natural Resources Program. I'm probably the newest county program that you fund. Created, the county adopted its natural resources policy in 2017, the fall of 2017, and then through the spring of 2018, sort of put the structure framework to when I was employed as of July 1 of 2018. So that's kind of the beginnings of the natural resources program. It's guided by the county's natural resources policy, which really does in the policy layout the core services and sort of the roles and functions, the types of topics and things that we might address. So just to review some of that, the purpose of the program is to advance the county's adopted policy of 2017, making sure that we protect and represent the custom, culture, and interests of the county as in the assessment and management of our natural resources on public-private, with a focus on federal lands within the boundaries of the county. The program champions the process of coordination with a capital C, as defined in some federal statutes, such as the National Environmental Protection Act, of the National Forest Management Act and the Bureau of Land Management's Federal Land Policy and Management Act. There are several other acts that also talk about coordination. We will go ahead to the next one, yeah. Some of the key activities that we provide is a liaison between the county commission and our federal and state land management agencies. Example, the Ochoa National Forest, Prineville BLM District, some of the state agencies we deal with, our Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, Department of Ag. We facilitate the coordination. We utilize an advisory committee that is appointed by the commission, currently 11 members active. We basically use the approach of topic discussion, public input, and then present a white paper management options to the commission for their adoption and movement forward. The process maintains local control and input over critical land management decisions, protects the community access to resources, supporting local economy and quality of life. We call it the custom and culture. And as far as commission goals and priorities, it supports goal 1, goal 4, and goal 5. Again, some of the key activities involve the Crook County Natural Resources Advisory Committee. We have monthly meetings regularly scheduled, plus a variety of one-on-one interactions involved in public meetings and those kind of things. Our meetings are always advertised and broadcast now via Zoom, providing remote access. We also kind of ancillary provide support to the county's grazing advisory board. This is a group of individuals, 5 of them, who are BLM permittees within the county boundaries. Their role is to approve range improvement projects funded by what we call the Taylor Grazing Fund. This is a fund that is generated by a portion of the grazing fees paid by permittees within the county boundary to the BLM and then sent to the county treasurer's office to be spent. So that's what the Grazing Advisory Board does. And again, these align with the commission goals and priorities of goal 5 and goal 4. Under monitoring and legal policy analysis, we spend a lot of time tracking and reviewing state and federal legislation, rulemakings, planning documents that may affect local resource interests, focusing on forest management, water, grazing, recreation, renewable energy, and fire management. And then again, we advise the commissioners on emerging issues, opportunities, and sometimes required responses. Impact, we always try to be timely. It's a little difficult sometimes being timely with public notice processes, less than 45 days usually. We try to be ahead of those topics so we don't fall within that 45-day period, but that doesn't always work. And again, these activities align with goal 1. Under intergovernmental and regional representation, we represent the county in, again, a lot of regional and statewide forums and partnerships, including water collaboratives, forest collaboratives, special interest initiatives, and anything as assigned by you. Our goal is to always make sure the county's interests are well protected and represented in multi-jurisdictional initiatives. And these align with goals 1 and 5. I don't know if we included here, but oh yeah, we do later on. There are a large variety of state, federal, and local organizations and agencies that we work with on a regular basis. Under response and issue management, we provide analysis and recommendations on real-time natural resource issues. Examples such as wildfire response, recovery, NEPA project reviews, on some state stuff, water rights, water quality, and sometimes on public access issues. Organize and facilitate public forums when required to address specific changes in public land use. Again, always trying to provide sort of rapid, immediate response because these decisions generally won't wait for us. So the metrics we use is sort of timeliness of our response. We always try to remind people, they go, well, can't you force them to do it? We can't force them to do anything, but being at the table gives the county the opportunity to negotiate changes that need to be made. Number of advisory committees and public forums held annually, so we keep track of our regularly monthly scheduled meetings and any other special meetings that we need to hold. When other groups are advertising holding meetings, we generally assist them in advertising those meetings, trying to make sure the greater public knows what's going on. And then under strategic partnerships, you see the list. Always run the risk of leaving somebody off when we start listing who we work with, but on the federal side, Forest Service, BLM, Bureau of Reclamation, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, NOAA Fisheries, U.S. Department of Ag, U.S. Department of Interior, and the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs are some examples. On the state side, Fish and Wildlife, State Parks, Oregon Department of Ag, Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, Water Resources, and Department of Forestry. Locally, of course, the county, the city, Central Oregon Intergovernmental Council, Ochiko Irrigation District, the Upper Crooked River Landowners. It's a water group created a couple of years ago. The Soil and Water Conservation District, the Watershed Council, the Weed Management Area, and some of our Central Oregon Extension offices, and the non-governmental arena, Stock Growers, Farm Bureau, the Deschutes Basin Water Collaborative, which includes the Upper Deschutes and Upper Crooked River, the Ochiko Forest Collaborative, the Crook County Economic Development, the Deschutes River Conservancy, Association of Oregon Counties Natural Resources Subcommittee, and the Crooked Weed Management Area. From a standpoint of cost to the county, we try to do this all with about a half a FTE, and a little bit of that includes all of my time and a place to have a phone and computer. Relatively lean budget except for the salary. So I always say I work at your pleasure. So when you're done with me, you're done with me.
We're not done with you yet.
Nope.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
You fill a big gap. I remember when this was taking in effect and the turmoil and the problems that we had in the county with different various things, and
Well, every once in a while, there's a hot topic, so
there is.
Yeah. And I think we've done a good job of taking care of those
Yes.
generally.
without having to spend money on attorneys. We've saved quite a bit
So
of
far.
money on attorneys so far.
We got close once.
We got real close ones.
So good job.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have, Jackie Davis with the landfill.
Good afternoon, Jackie Davis, landfill director. So for the Crook County Landfill Core Services, first up, our mission is to provide the citizens of Crook County with environmentally sound and cost-effective solid waste management services that are in compliance with all laws and regulations. A few of our primary objectives and purposes are to manage the solid waste system within Crook County, and that includes landfill disposal operations, which provides a safe disposal of solid waste to the community. Recycling services, we have a recycling depot at the landfill that allows for waste reduction activities for environmental purposes. Regulatory reporting, this is required for regulatory compliance to DEQ. And we also hold a number of household hazardous waste events to provide an avenue for safe disposal of harmful chemicals for environmental safety as well. For solid waste disposal, the landfill owns, well, the county owns and operates a solid waste disposal site for Crook County, so the landfill there. The key activities at the landfill are we accept municipal solid waste as well as C&D, which is our construction and demolition debris. The impact it has and benefit is to provide safe disposal of solid waste, again, to protect the health and safety of the public as well as the environment. By providing this service, it helps reduce the amount of illegal dumping on public lands by having the landfill site and trying our best to keep those costs down to the public as well. That aligns with the Board of Commissioner goals number 4 and number 1. Providing recycling services. Again, the department provides a recycling depot at the landfill, allowing for the public's participation in waste reduction services. We also, beyond our free recycling depot, offer a number of recycling options that are available for additional small fees for like appliances and tires and lights, just some different things that the public enjoys being able to recycle and safely dispose of. Again, the recycling depot is available free of charge. And we have those additional items for a fee. The landfill staff participates in preparing those recyclables for shipment off-site, and we also occasionally truck items off-site as well ourselves, some to local facilities and others to Deschutes County. The impact that recycling services provides is a reduction of solid waste into the landfill, which greatly reduces greenhouse gas emissions, which is a hot topic right now for methane testing and regulations that came about here just a few years ago. This also allows Crook County to achieve their 20% goal that was set by the state of Oregon. We're required to recycle 20% of all incoming waste. That's not just done at the landfill, that includes Republic Services. But by having the depot available, that allows us to reach that goal. This aligns with Board of Commissioner goals number 4 and number 1 also. Regulatory compliance, regulatory services are the essential functions for the landfill operations for federal, state, and local and public laws. RCRA, the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, passed in 1976, is what mandates all of the landfills across the United States It governs both the disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous waste. And, there's two types of landfills under RCRA. We are subtitle D, which is a non-hazard waste facility. Subtitle C landfills are allowed to accept, hazardous waste. Key activities under regulatory compliance, design and operating. This is everything from locating a landfill site to permitting the landfill site, designing the cells, leachate system, gas collection systems. Environmental monitoring, these are the requirements to test for groundwater and surface water and air quality to make sure we are in compliance with environmental safety standards. Leachate management system, it manages the leachate within the disposal cells, to ensure that we are not contaminating groundwater. Air emissions monitoring, Division 239 was passed. This requires some different regulations for landfills to manage and control the release of landfill gas. It became more stringent, so we have a requirement to stay below 20 parts per million of methane gas that is emitted from our landfill cells. So far, we've been able to accomplish that. Once we are unable to, that's when we install the gas collection system and move forward with that. Closure and post-closure, landfills are required to plan for financial costs for closing the landfill, maintaining the landfill. That includes reporting any corrective actions that might need to happen for up to 30 years after the landfill is closed. So that includes all the costs for that 30 years. Financial assurance is required, the owner operator of the landfill. So this is also the help with Crook County Finance Department. We maintain a financial assurance plan that is detailed for the costs to close the landfill, cover the landfill, monitor the landfill, and any regulatory testing in that 30 years. Reporting and record keeping obviously is required for DEQ. We track what type of waste, we accept the amounts of waste and the sources that it comes from. These are required under quarterly reports. We also do groundwater, surface emission monitoring testing with the help of an environmental engineer, Apex Engineering. Those reports are due quarterly and annually. So again, it aligns with goal 4 and goal 1 for the Board of Commissioners. Key metrics for our facility is to maintain a positive cash flow. We are an enterprise fund funded through tipping fees mostly. We do get a little bit from reimbursement from our recycling programs with the RMA. There are not a lot of grants available, but that is always an option. But we'd like to maintain a positive cash flow to make sure we are able to maintain our facility, our equipment, and staff to get the job done. DEQ annual inspections. We have a annual landfill site inspection where our permit holder comes out. So as long as we're passing that inspection, we're doing good there. Waste diversion programs. Again, making sure we recover 20% of all incoming waste as assigned by the state. This also means that we participate in the RMA, the Recycling Modernization Act. That was in effect July 1st of this year. It unified all recycling materials and operations across the state of Oregon. So what's offered in one area must be offered in another. So it's offered in Portland needs to be offered here. So that just unifies the state of Oregon. And then participation with the community by providing local events. These are free events for disposal of yard debris, appliances, and household hazardous waste. Those are events at the moment. Strategic partnerships include Crook County Administration. This is for guidance and approval of additional programs and opportunities for waste reduction services, changes to infrastructure or equipment, and then DEQ and various regulatory engineering firms who help us remain in compliance with regulatory reporting. Some of the landfill funding challenges are additional state required regulated programs. Again, the RMA that came into play this year, we weren't sure how that was gonna work. That's all funded up front by the landfill with a little bit of reimbursement on the back end. Going forward, we're gonna have some additional recycling programs that are required. Carpet and textiles. We might be looking at another composting program that's required. So funding those is always a challenge up front. Additional regulatory testing and reporting costs. Rising material costs, fuel, parts, maintenance. Our vendors' prices going up. That's been a common occurrence lately. And also the economy, since we're funded off of tipping fees, mostly a slow economy affects house construction, building, which means less waste coming into the landfill. Also, by these mandated recycling programs, obviously that's waste not coming into the landfill, it's being diverted, so more recycling programs means less waste for tipping fee revenue also. Some of the state mandates or landfill disposal operations. This includes the location, planning, development, and operations of the landfill. Again, closure and post-closure. Compliance with the DEQ permit is making sure we're following what we can accept. Several items are banned for disposal, making sure those items don't end up in our landfill. As of now, we operate disposal cells for asbestos, construction, concrete, municipal solid waste. Those are all regulated through our permit as to the designated and approved areas for those cells. There's boundaries for those cells, rules for covering the material. We have to make sure we're following those. And then should we, for instance, should we fill our asbestos cell? We're not mandated to have an additional asbestos cell. It's an option. We go back to DEQ and we look for a permitted land space at our current facility and begin asking for another permitted area for an asbestos cell. But should we choose not to, that's not something we have to do. So at the moment we have it, so we're gonna follow through with the program. Implementation of the Recycling Modernization Act, that was a requirement that took place in July. And then site improvements and equipment purchases, those help us with our landfill operations in order to stay in compliance as well.
What is your estimated time that the asbestos cell will be full?
We had an estimated lifespan of 3 years. We just took a rather large job out of Jefferson County. So we need to go back and look at the survey, maybe 1.5 years. All depends on the amount of jobs that come in and what type of material. A lot of these jobs with asbestos, lately they won't separate out just the material with asbestos. They'll just tear the whole house down, package it up, bring it as all asbestos, which takes up quite a bit of our asbestos cell. That's what happened with this last Jefferson County job. So we need to look back at that.
Any
Great
questions?
job. No, great job.
Next up, we have community development.
Here just to change things up. Happy,
Okay.
good
I
afternoon,
gotta
Commissioners.
readjust my
Happy Friday.
neck now.
What's that?
I have to readjust my neck.
Sorry about that. John Iser, Community Development Director. Look at my screen. Eyesight's not very good. So I'm from Community Development. Next slide, please. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life in Crook County by enforcing development standards that safeguard life, health, property, and the public welfare. Core services overview, essential functions responsible for building safety, planning, code compliance, on-site septic regulation, customer service coordination for land development. The impact there ensures legal compliance with state building and land use laws, DEQ requirements, and local ordinances while managing growth and protecting public health and safety. Service area 1 is building safety. Description there, it implements and enforces state and local building codes to ensure structures meet safety, energy efficiency, and habitability standards. Key activities there are plan review, field inspections, contractor assistance, and public education on building codes. The impact ensures structures are safe, supports development timelines, and protects residents and emergency responders. The alignment with Board of Commissioners goals and priorities there, aligned with goals 1, 2, and 4. Service area 2, land use planning. Administers land use permitting and long-range planning to guide growth and development in line with state and county goals. Key activities include zoning and subdivision application reviews. We advise the Planning Commission and Board of Commissioners on conditional use permits, code amendments, comprehensive plan updates, and TSP updates. The impact there facilitates orderly development, supports housing and economic development, and protects natural resources. Alignment with Board of Commissioner goals and priorities there is alignment with goals 1, 4, and 6. Service area 3, code compliance. Description investigates violations of building, zoning, and health codes to ensure legal compliance, protects public health and neighborhood livability. Key activities include complaint intake, investigations, voluntary compliance efforts, hearings, and education. The impact there enhances community appearance and safety, resolve conflicts, and ensures equitable enforcement. Alignment with Board of Commissioner goals, supports goal 4 and goal 1. Service area 4, on-site septic regulation, oversees septic permitting and inspections and compliance with DEQ standards. Key activities there include site evaluations, repair permits, coordination with DEQ and city utilities, public outreach. The impact is that it protects water quality, supports rural development, and maintains public health. The alignment there is again goals 1 and 4. Service area 5, department operations. Description, coordinate permitting, customer service, public records, and inter-program operations. Key activities include permit intake, cross-training, records management, internal process documentation, and office space planning. The impact there supports a seamless service delivery and enhances public accessibility and transparency. The alignment there is on goals 1, 5, and 6. Key metrics, I really like Jackie's funding slides. I think maybe we can incorporate one of those into core services plan next time or as a KPI. We are also an enterprise fund reliant on permit fees. So tracking that, having some barometer on financial health and the economy would be helpful. But the key metrics we do have, 95% of building inspections performed within 1 business day. 60% of code compliance cases closed within 90 days. Initial inspections for code compliance complaints completed within 1 to 3 business days. The various response time goals for planning application processing. And we are working on developing a KPI dashboard so we can stay on top of those KPIs much better. strategic partnerships, state and federal agencies. It's a host of state agencies we coordinate with, obviously including ODFW, DEQ, DOGAMI. Go on, Oregon Building Codes Division, City of Prineville, and then local contractors, engineers, realtors, and surveyors. We have a long list of state mandates, including our comprehensive plan and zoning ordinances, conducting land use hearings, interagency coordination and agreements, planning fees, designating a planning director, transportation system planning, which we have just completed. On the building side, a certified building official, which is Randy Davis, state building code enforcement, and then on site, we have our septic program DEQ delegation and code enforcement through ORS Chapter 203. I think that covers my presentation. Are there any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I do want to commend you on your work, on your department's work. I talk with a lot of contractors that are very pleased to work in Crook County. The time frame for getting the permits through and inspections and things are far exceed any of the surrounding counties, so consider that a real plus.
I very much appreciate that, Commissioner. Every day impressed with my staff. They're, you know, people are sick or they're out or they're recovering, and still the service is top notch and we get compliments all the time. And I can take very little credit for that, but I'm extremely grateful to have them underneath and supporting. So appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, I'll just note next steps. So we'll continue to review the core service descriptions for the departments that have not had an opportunity to come before the board. Based on any feedback we get, we'll refine those descriptions. And in early calendar year 26, I'll put them all together and I'll do a presentation at a board meeting, kind of presenting the final package of the core service descriptions. That final product is not intended to be an actual final product. It's intended to be a living document as state mandates change, as county priorities change. That document should be reviewed probably on an annual basis to make sure we're making the right decisions as we allocate resources, et cetera, in terms of what departments need and all of that. So ongoing project, but goal is to have a final product for the board in January of 26. And with that, unless there are any questions, we can wrap it up. I do want to thank Tim, John, and Jackie for being here today and for working, putting all of this together. I also want to give a shout out to Brianna for all her help on putting the PowerPoint together and getting all the descriptions together for everybody. So thank you, everybody, for your time this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you
For
for
everybody.
you guys. I think we have awesome staff. Thank you.
It's only half a bomb. I'd make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And I'll second it. Motion been made. Any discussion? Motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So move.